I'm live. Is it too dark in here? Is it too dark in here, y'all? Tell me if it's too dark in here. Who is on Instagram right now? I know I'm never, ever, 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 ever live at this time. Like, never, never. I know I'm never live at this time. It's like really, really late, but I had to go live right now. Who's on Instagram right now? I just put on Instagram that I just went live on YouTube. This is like really dark. I should turn another light on. Hi. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. If you guys want another light, I could turn one on, but hi. So I just got into it with I want to pronounce this correctly. Cynthia Erivo. I just got into it with her on Instagram. She just got cast to play, well, not just, but they just announced that she got the role of playing Harriet Tubman in this Harriet Tubman movie that they're making. And a lot of people are like, why didn't they cast like a Black American to play it? Like, I don't, like, doesn't that seem like it might have been, you know, like, appropriate? And so I guess people have been like hitting her up about it. And so she's like a Nigerian Brit, and she has like a Nigerian flag in her bio, which we've talked about, right? Like flags in the bio. She has like UK, some like UK something. Hi, Alex. She has like some UK something, and then she has like some, and then like a Nigerian flag in her bio. And so people are like, I mean, you're like a British Nigerian, like, is this appropriate? Hi. Yeah, because I'm live right now because some shit is fucking happening on Instagram. I was like, I have to go live on YouTube right now because this is just a lot. This is like a lot happening. I know I'm normally not on this late, but it's just like a lot going on right now. Hi. Did you guys miss the beginning of the story? Yes, Alex, exactly. Yes. It's dark in here. I should turn on another light. Let me turn on another light. Right? You've been watching the Instagram story all day? I hate this light. I hate overhead lights. I hate overhead lights. Yeah, that light's ugly. I hate overhead lights. I really do. Like, I have like a weird thing with overhead lighting. So we're just going to have to deal with this being like dark as hell. So, okay, so who's on Instagram? Who saw what just happened on Instagram? You missed the beginning of the story? You don't have Instagram? Okay. I'm probably not even going to save this one, so we're just going to talk. Like, we're just going to chit-chat. We're just going to chit-chat. So, I mean, I'm going to do a video on this. I'm going to film a video. Hi, Divine Wings Lifted, I see you. I'm going to do a video on this probably, like, tomorrow, like a real legit video, but I had to come on live first and talk to you guys about what is going on. So they announced, okay, so I'll start over. So they announced that they're doing a Harriet Tubman movie. You guys know I can't pronounce anything. I want to say a biopic, but you guys always say I'm pronouncing it wrong. A biopic, whatever. Yes, for like 6 hours, we were talking about it on Instagram. So they announced that they're doing this like Harriet Tubman movie, and that Cynthia Erivo was going to be like playing Harriet Tubman. So as soon as they announced that they were like definitely doing a movie, all these people were like, I wonder who they're gonna cast. I feel like they should cast a Black American. And you guys know I'm banned from Twitter, so somebody has sent me a screenshot that some girl had put on Twitter that was like, oh, maybe my screen is not turned all the way up. No, it's not. That's what it is. I'm like, why is it so dark? Because my screen is not turned all the way up. So somebody has sent me a screenshot that was from Twitter where this girl was like, watch, they're going to cast a continental African or a Black Brit or a biracial American actress if they cast an American actress to play Harriet Tubman. And what do? They cast a black Brit. So number one, that shit was hilarious from jump. That before they even announced who it was going to be, somebody was like, oh, watch, they're going to cast a black Brit or an African or a biracial American. And they cast Cynthia Erivo, am I pronouncing that right? Who is a British Nigerian, right? And she had, now I don't, obviously I'm banned from Twitter, so I don't know what is on her Twitter, but like even on her Instagram, she has like UK actress, UK singer, and then like the Nigerian flag, like proud Niger, like she's a British Nigerian, right? And she got cast to play Harriet Tubman. And so a lot of people were like, I don't know, people were like that they didn't know how they feel about it. Like, is it appropriate? Like, they're not sure how they feel about it. And so I'm going to tell you, so we started talking about it on Instagram. I'm going to do like a real legit video, like a legit video. I just had to like talk right now. So we started talking about it on Instagram, and people started just like saying how they feel. And a lot of people were just saying, like, you know, just the same thing that we've been talking about. Like, oh, you know, people feeling like, Black Americans specifically, feeling like we're being erased and feeling like our stories are, like, not being told. And then I had even posted some excerpts from this article. I see you guys' comments. I see them. I'm going to go back. And then I had posted some excerpts from this article. I guess I'll, like, read you guys a little bit. The article was called, like, Black American actors are slighted as Brits nab roles. We can't tell our own stories. Like, when it comes to telling very specific American stories, it can sometimes feel like a slap in the face to the Black American community, said Devere Rogers, a 29-year-old actor who had appeared in television shows Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and Grey's Anatomy. It's like we as Americans can't tell our own stories. So everybody started talking about, like, Black Americans and, like, Black Americans telling our own stories and stuff like that. And then somebody else asked a really good question, which I liked a lot, that was like, would we even... Yes, and then we started talking about, somebody said, didn't a African dude play MLK? And then we started talking about how, like, the lead in Selma was not a Black American, and, like, the lead in Get Out was, like, not a Black American. The two leads in 12 Years a Slave, both of them, Lupita and Chiwetel, neither one of them are Black Americans. Ruth Negga, who was in Loving, is not a Black American. Like, Gugu Mbatha Raw, who you guys even know that, like, I love her to death. I think she's extremely talented. Like, she was in Beyond the Lights. Like, she's not a Black American. Like, she was in A Wrinkle in Time. She is not, like, a Black American. Like, so everybody started talking about how, like, in a lot of these, like, historical movies and movies that are depicting, like, really specific points in Black American history, it's become, like, the habit to, like, not cast Black Americans, to go to, like, foreign Blacks, like, first for these roles. And all these people were, like, giving examples, Oscar-winning movies. And then somebody else was like, they're keeping, you know, young Black American actors away from... Now, everybody knows how I feel about awards. I'm not even into awards and, like, hierarchies and stuff like that. But somebody did make the point that they were like, I feel like they're keeping the up-and-coming young Black American actors and actresses out of these roles that are probably going to get Oscars, that are probably going to get, you know, all these awards. So they were like, of course, and apparently this, like, Cynthia chick already has an Emmy, a Tony, and a Grammy. So they were like, she's probably even trying to, like, get the EGOT, which only, like, 15 people have ever received, and, like, John Legend just got it. So they were like, if she get, you know, this Harriet Tubman movie is going to get nominated for Oscars, period. So they were like, they're keeping, like, Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, out of these, like, roles, out of these big roles of us even, like, depicting ourselves and, like, depicting our own culture. So the conversation was, like, really good. We were talking about it, like, all day. Somebody else was like, oh, I also feel like white Americans prefer foreign Blacks for these type of roles because they don't want to have to look at, like, the faces of actual descendants of American chattel slavery. Like, they don't want to have to look at the face of an actual descendant of American chattel slavery while they're watching a movie about Harriet Tubman. They don't want to see that. That's, like, a little bit too close to home. They want, like, fiction. Like, they want it to be like fiction, you know? Which I thought was, like, a really interesting point. And then somebody was like, oh, the girl, Cynthia, they were like, she's talking about it on Instagram right now. Like, she's talking about it in Instagram stories right now. And so she had like wrote some like long diatribe about being othered and about how we are all black. And let me see if I could tell you exactly what. It was like exactly what they always say. Like, they're being othered, we're questioning their blackness, blah blah blah. Thank you for further managing to others in quotations. Thank you for further managing to other me for a role I neither took nor was simply given. Just like most actors before me, we earn a role. I worked very hard for mine. Actors are free to go where they please for their work, but I dare you to attempt to do that fully as a black woman in the UK. Now I just want to jump in right there. And I just want to say, I find it very interesting that the problems with black British movies and television have somehow become our black American problems. Like, black Americans are supposed to not eat because, like, black Brits can't eat. So we're supposed to starve as black Americans so that they can come over here and eat. Like, how did that become how did that become my black American ass problem? Like, how did the problems with the British media become my black American ass problem? I'm not understanding. Oh, try doing that as a black bitch in the UK. I don't know what to tell you, bitch. Try doing it as a black bitch in the UK. How about instead of coming over here playing Harriet Tubman, you try doing it as a black bitch in the UK? Did you ever think about that? Like, how is it our problem that we supposed to starve so that y'all can come over here and eat because you can't eat in your own country? Does that make sense? Anyways, I was talking to somebody else about this. They were talking about the crabs in the barrel mentality. They were like, oh, that black Americans have a crab in the barrel mentality. I'm like, number one, everyone knows I hate that saying because a crab's natural habitat is not a barrel, it's not a bucket. We are not even supposed to be in a barrel. Black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery, are the only ones that didn't choose to be in this barrel. And more foreign blacks are climbing in the barrel, fighting with us over resources inside the barrel. Bitch, get out! Get out! Get out! Get out of the damn barrel! It's already crowded enough in here, okay? It's already a lack of space and oxygen up in this motherfucker. Like, get the fuck out. I worked very hard for mine. Actors are free to go where they please for their work, but I dare you to attempt to do that fully as a black woman in the UK. You sound like an angry black woman. Why are you mad? Because I just said that black Americans are fucking starving and we are asked to be happy about it too now. We gotta be happy about it too. We gotta be happy about it too at the same time. Come on now. I dare you to attempt to do that fully as a black woman in the UK. If I see it, I applaud it. What is for someone else was never mine in the first place. And I love this type of like flowery, hippy-dippy rhetoric. What is for someone else was never mine in the first place. So does that mean if I rob you and I take your money, it was never yours in the first place, right? The money was mine, because if the money wasn't meant for me, God would not have allowed me to rob you, bitch, right? Please believe that I have turned down roles I know I have no business playing. This role is not one of them. Thank you for your point of view. I'm sure you're not the only one. So I saw that, and I responded. I responded to her in her DMs. I responded to that. I was like, okay, so, because she was like, oh, nothing was given to me. I worked very hard for it. So I responded, I said, I'm sure white actors also feel that they work very hard and are given nothing. Do you agree? Everyone works hard and has an equal shot. White, black, men, women, everyone. Or is it possible that some people have privilege over others, including you? That is literally what I wrote. I didn't write bitch, because y'all know me. I know I have a dirty ass mouth. I didn't say bitch, cunt, fuck you. I didn't say nothing. Nothing. I said nothing. I said, I'm sure white actors also feel they work very hard and are given nothing. Do you agree? Everyone works hard and has an equal shot. White, black, men, women, everyone. Or is it possible that some people have privilege over others, including you? You know. That's exactly what I put. Look. And she saw it because it said seen. She screen capped it and put it in her Instagram stories like as if I was tripping, and then she blocked me. And she could not even respond. She couldn't even respond. She couldn't even respond. She couldn't say, oh, Yes, I have privilege. No, I don't have privilege. Oh, it's possible. Oh, this and this. She really posted it like she was doing something and then blocked me. And then she said, oh, I'm so tired of people bullying me. Let me read it again. Does this sound like bullying to y'all? I'm sure white actors also feel like they work very hard and are given nothing. Do you agree? Everyone works hard and has an equal shot. White, black, men, women, everyone. Or is it possible that some people have privilege over others, including you? Which is what we've been talking about, right? We've been talking about privilege. We've been talking about the concept of something called foreign privilege, where foreign-born black people are allowed to come here and have privilege over the native black population, right? And it's not some shit I made up. We've been talking about it for a while now. We've been talking about historical precedents. We've been talking about the context. Yet again, here is a literal whole article that was written on this shit. We've been talking about it for at least a year. Samuel L. Jackson said the same thing when Daniel Kaluuya got the Get Out role. Like, this is something that we're talking about, right? We can't even talk about it. We can't even talk about it without, yes, I'm being bullied. I'm being bullied. And then what was the next thing she put in the stories before she blocked me? She put, oh, when I'm walking down the street, if I get stopped by cops, do you think they're going to see a British woman or do you think they're going to see me as black? Yet again, this viewing of our own black identity through the white gaze. Oh, this is how white people see me, which number one, we've already talked about is bullshit because white people do actually see foreign blacks as well as native born blacks differently. And the way that white supremacist infrastructure works, it works differently for native blacks versus foreign-born blacks. So number one, yet again, is this false narrative. It's these like false narratives and these ideas and these dichotomies being repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated, right? And it's just like yet again, like you have UK real big and proud in your bio. You have Niger real big and proud in your bio. But we're talking about Harriet Tubman. We're talking about like a really specific person and place and moment in time. And just like, if you guys remember when I got like so mad at fucking Sophia Coppola, or however you pronounce that bitch's name, she tried to make a whole movie, The Beguiled, around the Civil War and not have any motherfucking black people in the shit. And in the interviews, the bitch said, well, I want to talk about race, right? Like but we're talking about the Civil War. Like we're talking about a very specific, like when we're talking, especially historical movies and historical context, like these are real people. Like these are real people. These are real places. These are real events. This is not fiction. Like Harriet Tubman doesn't take place on Zathura, okay? Like if this was like some Hamilton style, you know, we really doing some colorblind casting, some Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, where we have a motherfucking a white father and Whoopi Goldberg is the mom and an Asian. Okay, but like that's not what we're doing. So yet again, let's stop like hiding. We're hiding under the we're all black. We're hiding under the, well, this is the way that the white gaze views us, so this is the way that we are, instead of us determining our black identities within the diaspora for ourselves. And there's also just a lot of not wanting to reconcile the fact that foreign blacks do have privilege. Like, and I also want to say, like, using these terms like foreign blacks versus native blacks, right? Foreign blacks versus native blacks. I am a native black here in America. Foreign blacks come to America and have privilege over me, right? This girl is a black Brit, right? So in Britain, she is a native black. If I went to Britain, I would be a foreign black. I would have privilege over her. We're talking about privilege. We're talking about the way that privilege works. We're talking about identity. We're talking about these. I have a whole video on privilege and identity. I think the shit is literally called like On Privilege. We're talking about the way that privilege and identity works and the way that it's constantly moving and changing. Like, yet again, you're a native black in your own country, the UK, and you don't get shit there, but you get to come here and be a foreign black here and get shit here. I'm a native black here. I don't get shit here. If I went to your country, I'd be a foreign black there and I'd get shit there. You know, like we're talking, like we're having a conversation. And it's like, they don't even want to have the conversation. They just want to like, no, we're all black. We could all get shot the same, which yet again is motherfucking bullshit. We're all treated the same by white racist supremacist infrastructure, which yet again is fucking bullshit because they are favored by the infrastructure. And it's just like, yet again, I wasn't even rude to her. I wasn't mean. I didn't curse her out. I didn't say anything nasty to her. And she blocked me, right? She blocked me. She blocked me. White people handbook, right? White people handbook. Projection, deflection, and gaslighting. Those are the motherfucking 3 pillars of the white people handbook. Projection, deflection, and gaslighting. Hi, Kari, I see you. The truth hurts. Like, and people really think, and then she was really like, oh, that we were bullying her. Bullying. Practice. We talking about practice? We talking about practice. Come on now. Let's see these comments. Thursday. I know I'm normally not on this late, but we had to talk about this. Somebody was like, ooh, she blocked you because that was her PR. Her PR was like, ooh, you don't want it. It's too late now, isn't it? It's too late. It's too late. Yes, Miss Camille Elizabeth. She said, are we discussing the casting of this new Harriet Tubman movie? The story is crazy, mad dumb. I'm on Instagram. We've been talking about this for like 6 hours. Somebody said Viola Davis should play Harriet. Somebody was like, oh, why not the girl from Underground that did like a great job playing Harriet Tubman? Like, why not cast her to be in the movie? Why cast somebody totally different and a black Nigerian Brit at that? Like, why? What's the point? What is the purpose? What's the purpose of it? Who can explain to me what the purpose of it is? And then to just like fall back on this like very tired excuse of like, well, I just worked really, really hard and I just got the role. Like, yeah, and I'm sure Scarlett Johansson just thought that she was the best one for the role in Ghost in the Shell. I'm sure she worked very hard. Does that mean she was the right one? What is wrong with black Americans playing other black Americans? Other black people telling our stories shake my fucking head. They really act like we don't have a plethora of excellent, educated, highly awarded actors. Because yes, then people also like to say, which I'm going to get in more in depth because I'm going to do like a real video tomorrow. People like to say like, oh, well, the Brits, speaking about the Brits in particular, oh, well, the Brits are just better trained and they go to acting school. And Spike Lee was like, yes, they don't come up through music videos. They come up on the stage. Like, oh, so there's no acting conservatories in the United States. Oh, Juilliard doesn't exist now. Paperboy from Atlanta has a whole master's degree in drama from Yale. What are y'all even talking about? Like, yet again, this like superiority complex that black Americans ain't shit, that we're stupid, we're lazy, we don't work, we don't have talent, we're uneducated, we're not good for nothing. We're not good for nothing except being in music videos. We're not even good for telling our own stories. The story of Harriet Tubman, the story of what's his name, Solomon, whatever his name is from 12 Years a Slave. Like, we're not even good enough to tell our own stories. They have to export foreign blacks over here because they're just so much better than us. That's just really what it is. Wow, they really hate black American women. Good God. Harriet was carrying the slaves to freedom, no, but really, why would they not cast a DACS? Like, is this the Twilight Zone? Wow, an African Brit playing Harriet Tubman, they're really trying it, laughing my ass off, fuck Hollywood. She doesn't have a connection to our story the way we as descendants do. This casting really hurt my feelings. Didn't an African dude play MLK? I'm not black, and I think that shit is disrespectful. I promise it's like black Americans can't have our own stories. Oh, I guess that happened by mistake. Hi, Kima, I'm late. They don't like us, DACS. 1 minute they're casting Latina as Nina Simone and an African Brit as Harriet Tubman. Right, and if you guys remember, when they cast Zoe Saldana as Nina Simone and put that prosthetic nose on her, I did a video on that. I was like, this is not cool. Like, this is not okay. Like, especially like Nina Simone, her whole life, her legacy, her career, her music, her artistry, everything revolved around her black Americanness, specifically in the way she was moving through the world as a black American. And y'all really think that that's just not shit, that like that's not no culture, no ethnicity, no heritage, no history, that anybody could just put this shit on. And I do want to say, which I even talked about in my video on Does Race Matter in Voice Acting, I do want to say that, like, yes, I understand. If you guys haven't seen that video, please look it up. I do understand that, of course, part of the role as an actor is to, like, step into somebody else's shoes and, like, fulfill, you know, a part that maybe is not who you really are. Like, yes, it's acting. I get it. But where is the line between, like, when does authenticity matter? Like, yet again, it was not okay for Scarlett Johansson to play in Ghost in the Shell, and we all know that, and we can all, like, admit to that, even though she is an actress. Like, there was an element of authenticity that probably should have been there, especially for that story, which was so, the Ghost in the Shell story, I did a video on this, is so specifically about, like, Japanese, I don't want to say Japanese fallout, but, like, fallout from, you know, the war and the issues that they've had with United States imperialism and bombings and radiation and there's like a lot of stuff wrapped up in very specific ideas of Japanese history and identity and culture and the whole cyberpunk wave thing like that. It was not appropriate, right? Even if we're just talking again culture, ethnicity, it was just not appropriate. We're talking about, like, what is appropriate? Like, where is the line? When does authenticity matter? What do we think is appropriate here? And it just also seems like this is a one-way street. Like, people, yet again, what we've talked about before, people lose their shit when one fucking black American wears a motherfucking dashiki to Afropunk. They write and think pieces about it. When they see somebody wearing a motherfucking head wrap going to see Black Panther, they don't like it. It's an issue. When Will Smith was in Concussion, which I didn't like, I thought they should have hired a Nigerian and his accent was terrible. They have an issue. But then they'll turn around and be like, well, why can't a girl that has proudly UK Niger in her bio play Harriet Tubman? It's a joke. It's a joke. It is a joke. It's a joke. A Nigerian Brit telling Black American history, that doesn't even sound right. Oh, you just got off work, Clarissa, so you were able to come because we finally did a late one. They do the absolute most to erase us. I hope she gets dragged like Lovey. They know foreigners won't invest in Black Americans. They take their money and influence back home, and that's no shade. Black Americans should invest back into Black America. I agree. They need to get over it. She said how she worked hard. Come on. It's crazy how the entire world doesn't fuck with Black Americans, but they want our sauce. What is wrong with being other? We can't all be the same thing. It's just because historically we've talked about other in terms of, like, you know, othering and eating the other and other as this bad thing. That shit's coming back to bite us in the ass now, isn't it? I'm so glad that I wasn't the first to realize this. The good Blacks, as they want to say, is becoming the norm now. Oh, Lord, the Black Brits are at it again. Hi, Alexia. Hi, everybody. I see you. They don't want to fight for their shit over there. All people aren't different. Wait. All people aren't the same. Oh, all people aren't the same Blacks. What the fuck? That's a crazy statement to make. Black Brits will say that Black Americans have no culture. Also, Black Brits, stop being xenophobic. You guys are divisive. Wow, the entitlement that Cynthia had. So are you saying whites are Black people? I'm confused. I'm saying that they're acting like white people. I'm saying a lot of these Black people, a lot of these foreign Blacks are acting like white people. A lot of them also suffer from colonized minds. They have colonized mindsets, and that is exactly how they act. Wow, disgraceful but not surprising in the least. They have no connection to African American history and culture. Nobody wants to be told they have privilege over someone. They go straight into defense mode. Yes. And I said the same exact thing in my video on privilege. I was like, whether you have light skin privilege, dark skin privilege, straight privilege, able-bodied privilege, pretty privilege, loose curly hair privilege, foreign privilege, we all have different facets of privilege. And instead of whining and motherfucking complaining about it and denying it, I wish, and I said this in the video 3 years ago, I wish that more people would adopt the mindset of recognizing the way that they have privilege, recognizing the way that the system is working in their favor because of that privilege, and if not working to dismantle the system, which I would say dismantle the whole shit, but if not working to dismantle the system, at least being aware of the way that it's working, and making the conscious effort, taking the conscious steps to not collude with the system, right? But that's too much like right. That's too much work. People don't have time. People don't have time to be doing all that self-work and monitoring themselves and checking their privilege and watching the shit that they're doing, or even if they're gonna have privilege, at the very least using their privilege to put other motherfuckers on. Oh no, that's too much like right. That's too much work. That's too much work. You knew the block game was coming. She could have said something. It's another man down. I can't believe it. It sounds like the truth hurt. I can't believe that she said that people are bullying her. They're just mad at the truth. She really couldn't muster up anything to say to you. She said, oh, I'm being bullied. A lot of people don't want their privilege to be pointed out and taken from them. Thank you, Just Nickel. It's not that hard to understand. This isn't a fucking fictional character. This is Harriet Tubman. Come on. UK Jamaicans dragged Idris for Yardy. Now all of a sudden they don't understand. Harriet Tubman is a DACS and should be played by a DACS. I'm just looking at your stories. Oh, you looking at the stories now, Alex? What the fuck, the audacity? This is just like Nina Simone. They keep disrespecting us. Come on. As an actress, when it comes to films based off of actual people, we should try to be as authentic as possible. Hi, Umi, I see you. Yeah, I had to come because some wild stuff just happened, and I was like, oh, I have to go YouTube. I have to go live on YouTube, because I know sometimes like stuff happens, and I just be like, oh, I have to go live and talk to my peeps. I don't mind them playing fictional black characters, but historical black Americans and figures should be played by AA, especially considering the complicated relationship between AAs and Africans. They should respect our ancestors. Let's be real, they're trying to make an Oscar bait movie with this casting. Right, it's like you're going to make a movie about Harriet Tubman, you're going to throw a black Brit in there that already has all these other awards, and it's Oscar bait. It is Oscar bait. It's Oscar bait. You don't want to cast Aisha Hines, that's her name, who played Harriet Tubman in Underground. You don't want to take a chance on an unknown black American actress, even though they will 100% take chances on unknown foreign blacks, just like the fucking little kid that they put in Snowfall, that they spent all this money bringing him over here from Britain and getting him all these vocal coaches so he could learn how to speak in the American accent and da-da-da-da-da, instead of just hiring a DACS. Like, bitch, I see the motherfucking code. I see the Matrix code. I don't even see the code anymore. All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead. Let's keep going. Who is making these casting decisions? If Hollywood can still do whites-only casting like they did with Katniss and Hunger Games, they could seek only descendants for BA roles. They don't respect our culture but have no problem profiting from it. Oh my God, Yvonne Orji, another one. Her little radio interview where she said Nigerians are better than everybody else been getting around, even though she made her whole bread and butter damn sure playing a DACS on fucking Insecure, didn't she? Cynthia wants me, a DACS, to be okay with her playing Harriet, but would she have a problem if I played a Nigerian woman in a historical film and TV role? The fucking applause and praise she's getting from other black Americans is fucking ridiculous. Like, black America and black Hollywood is disappointing as fuck. Y'all already know how I feel about the black academics, too. I got a whole video on those motherfuckers too, because the black academics sided with Rachel Dolezal. Because a lot of black academics and a lot of black Hollywood types are, number one, they're hardcore capitalists, so they go where the money goes. So this movie looks like Oscar bait, aka it looks like money, it looks like attention, it looks like clout, it looks like fame, it looks like all the things they want to be associated with. Capitalists. And also, in addition to being hardcore capitalists, the majority of them are also super into respectability politics. So it's like, oh, this girl already has like these 3 awards under her belt. She's British, and you know they already think the Brits are so well trained and they're so educated, and they went up on the stage. And that Guardian article that I was reading, which I'm gonna read in my video tomorrow. Even Spike Lee was like, I don't have a problem with the British, taking the roles from the Americans, because they actually, have training and they actually came up on the stage. They didn't come up in a music video. Number one, yet again, y'all acting like there's no acting conservatories in the United States. Like there's no trained, Taraji P. Henson studied acting at Howard University. Like you're acting like there's no trained actors, black American actors, like there's no acting conservatories in the US. And also, these people are fucking snobs. Like, even so what if you didn't go to acting school? Like, so what? Talent is talent. Like, sure, you can learn technique, but talent is talent. You either have it or you don't have it. Like, stop being such snobs. And the black academics were also super snotty when the Rachel Dolezal shit was going on, because what did most of them say? Melissa Harris Perry really disappointed me with her commentary about that. A lot of people really disappointed me because they were like, well, Rachel went to the schools and, she went to Howard and she took the classes, and she works for the NAACP, and well, at least she's not out here shaking her ass and this and this. Why can't we let her be black? Like, she fits into your little respectable idea of what you want blackness to be. So you're gonna give her a black card, so you're gonna just like not even discuss the implications of what's going on because you're a snob. I hate respectability politics, and I hate capitalism. It's okay for Asians to say, why couldn't they cast a Japanese man to play the Last Samurai but not us? Some people have also brought up how, like, oh, it's perfectly valid for Asians to be like, oh, this role is Korean. Don't put a Chinese person in it. They're not Korean. But it's not okay for us to be like, well, we're Black American. Don't put a fucking British Nigerian in it. Put a Black American. We have a different ethnicity. We really need to like push for this ethnicity. Didn't Will Smith play a Nigerian and they didn't like it? This state of affairs really is a burning shame. Our enslaved ancestors are turning where they rest. Man, they're going to climb up out the ground, boy. The truth hurts people. She blocked you because she knew what's up. That's why. Wait, did I miss Chocolate Chunks? Chocolate Chunks, are the babies here? Are the babies here? The Bees babies? They're due in September, right? She couldn't handle the truth. We wouldn't get shit there either because they don't want us, DACS, anywhere. Oh, she said no, the babies aren't here yet. Okay. That's a good point about the Japanese. They're going off the white people handbook. It's really not that hard to understand. Like, you can't double dip. Who said they got bullied? Yep, that's the white woman playbook. Exactly. White woman playbook. Oh my God, people are bullying me. They're being so mean to me. Let me go cry some tears. Why not Aisha Hines, Asia Naomi King, Antoinette Robertson, Ashley Blaine Featherson, Camille Winbush, Tika Sumter, Gabrielle Dennis, Rutina Wesley, SMH. I could keep going. Does the White People Handbook have a chapter on accountability? I think not, because these foreign blacks have no problem co-opting BA culture for coin instead of fighting for their own industries. The role will not translate as well as it would with the descendants. Somebody also brought up on Instagram the color purple, because people were like that Cynthia, I don't want to say her last name wrong, so Erivo, is that it? That she also played the role of Celia in The Color Purple, and that Fantasia has also played that role as well. And a lot of people have said that even though Cynthia has like a beautiful voice, and she's obviously classically trained, and it's like very technically perfect and beautiful, a lot of people have said that they prefer Fantasia because they feel like Fantasia as a Black American is just like bringing like the rawness and the power and the real feeling of like maybe Fantasia had an aunt or a grandma or someone that she could like really latch onto and relate to when she's performing the role. A lot of people were hitting me up on Instagram saying like, oh, what Cynthia did was beautiful and I loved it. She has a gorgeous voice. She's very talented, but like my soul moved when I like heard Fantasia. Like, there's also something to be said again for like a little bit of authenticity, just a little bit. I don't know. The purpose of doing this is what it always is, to shade us. This is ugly and disrespectful as fuck. It's a basic Oscar baiting movie. Casting is supposed to look so prestigious. Get the fuck out. It's honestly annoying. People pretend not to understand until it's their culture, then all of a sudden they understand. People turn down roles all the time. It's elitist. Yes, we are talking about Cynthia Erivo. Somebody tell me how you pronounce that. I'm not really big on this topic, but I find it funny that with Black Panther, they had smoke for the accents, etc. But when we have a problem with something that is related to BAs, we are all black. Thank you. Justin Nichols said, I went to college to study theater. What the fuck am I? Africans really worship white folks, especially Europeans. This feels like a redo of what our history should be and sound like. Hi, Amanda. Solomon Northup. That's it. Thank you. It's so weird that anyone thinks Black Americans aren't talented. They're the most influential people in the world. Paper boys from Fayetteville, North Carolina, pray for in Cedar and the hurricane. Yes, anybody that's in North Carolina, hopefully you're prepared. Hopefully you're ready. Hopefully it just blows through, but hopefully everybody is safe. It's interesting that people bring up white people, but where is that energy when people claim countries that white people drew together and threw groups of people together? These stereotypes come from envy of what Black Americans have accomplished. Chocolate Chunks, I totally agree. I think there's a lot of jealousy and envy. They play into the respectability politics. They won't challenge shit, just go along with what's told to them. Regarding colonization, the colonizers are placing those people to show there is still a field and a house. Yes. And we are definitely still in the field. But that's fine, because before I be a house nigga, be a field nigga. Word to motherfucking kingship. Africans can play Harriet, but they get mad when it's brought up that West Africans sold Black Americans into slavery. How? People don't want freedom, they want power. Yes, people do not want to dismantle shit. They just want to get to the top of the food chain. It's mad disrespectful. I hope this bombs like the Nina Simone movie, and that we are clocking this as trash from the get-go. Yeah, Nina Simone was done all wrong. Almost all of these Black British actors, from the ones in Selma and 12 Years a Slave, also have white spouses too, including the director of 12 Years a Slave. This is like a slap in the face to all the hungry, talented, dark-skinned Black American women. On Nina, they literally put blackface on a character that was a Black American activist who fought this very thing. The Nina Simone thing really felt like exceptionally disgusting. Like, I was quite, like, I love Nina Simone, and I was, like, quite personally offended. Like, I felt personally offended. Like, oh no, like, oh nah, like, oh nah, like, what the hell is this? If they give the role to a foreign Black, it's white people's way of solidifying that slavery and DOS descendants is so long ago that we are no longer affected by slavery, which is bullshit. Oh, Umi, I'm trying to make poignant statements and keep having to erase them because Seren says word for word exactly what I'm going to type before I could even complete the thought. Sorry, Umi. It amazes me how fictional characters get people so worked up, but we can't fight for our heroes. Yes, I agree. That's a good point. I get acting, but I feel like when it comes to historical characters or characters of color, be authentic. I also feel that as an actor, you have a responsibility to turn some shit down. I know it's dark outside, but it looks like daylight where Serena's at. I have lights on. Because it is dark. In the whole beginning of it, I was like, is it too dark? I was like, it's too dark in here. Who's the actress playing her? Cynthia Erivo? Wrong is wrong. Have some principles. Hi, Citrus Gal. Thank you. Excuse me. Hi. Our culture is always up for grabs. Oh, your birthday was September 13th, the same day as my best friend. Happy birthday, belated birthday, Kari. I don't know where you are, so. They're going to be looking at the Black community when this shit flops, asking why we didn't support it. Nelson Mandela comes to mind. People fight tooth and nail for fictional characters and an actual person they didn't learn from Nina Simone's movie. Hi, True Beauty J, I see you. Somebody said come back to Twitter. I'm banned permanently. They banned my IP address. And they also banned my cell phone, and you have to put in a mobile number. So I would have to, like, and they, like, banned my email account. So I would have to, like, get, like, a burner email account and a burner, like, phone number and go, like, use a computer at FedEx or something. And that's just, like, a lot of work just to get back on the cesspool that is known as Twitter, that is full of new Blacks and bougie Black people and people that just realized they were Black, like, last week, and capitalists and, like, respectability politics and people that don't know how to Google. I haven't missed it. Oh, scrambled eggs, I see your comment. You okay? You alright? This shit is definitely gonna flop. Hi, La Monster. I definitely think an African-American actress should be the one to play Harriet Tubman. Isn't Nollywood a billion-dollar industry? Why don't they make their own movies? She doesn't think Harriet Tubman worked hard. She doesn't think Black Americans worked hard to provide a platform where non-Black Americans could benefit. I'm confused. Hi, Alex B. I see you. I thought it said Alexa at first. Hi. It's just because if Black Americans claim all the roles that are meant for them, then non-Black Americans wouldn't have jobs. Black Americans have done the most historically for Black progress. Oh, hi, Girl Interrupted. I see you. Hi, we're here, Elle. I want to know why the director chose her and if DOCS even auditioned for the role, and is the director DOCS? The director is Casey Lemons. Who is a Black American. And I also believe that, is that how you pronounce, is that her last name, Lemons? It starts with an L. A lot of people don't like self-accountability. Foreign Blacks are loved more than DACS. CAs know exactly what they're doing. I saw in the Yvonne Orji interview comments, they were saying that Nigerians are redefining what black excellence means. They could suck a dick. My thing is, yet again, how are you as a Nigerian, Yvonne Orji, Cynthia Erivo, everybody else, how are you as a Nigerian redefining what black excellence means when you are getting on by playing black Americans? When you just won an award for playing Celie in The Color Purple, which is a book written by Alice Walker, who's a black American who coined the term womanism, a book that is specifically about black Americans and the black American woman experience in the South as descendants of American chattel slavery. When you, Yvonne Orji, are on right now from playing a black American Molly on a show, Insecure, where y'all all play black Americans, and that's how y'all all got on. How are you how are Nigerians redefining black excellence when you have to impersonate black Americans to even get noticed? What am I missing? Where am I disconnecting? Who can explain it? I wish more DACS would accept that we're not all the same instead of getting mad when I say I'm not African. Like I've said before, what they're doing is participating in our erasure. It is historical erasure of us. I can't believe she blocked you. Wow. And she also posted what I asked her in her stories before she blocked me. That's not proof that you're being bullied. If anything, that makes you look weak. Because I was asking some very calm, respectful questions and you couldn't even answer. You posted it in Instagram stories and didn't even respond. That makes you look weak. But all right. These people hate us and want to be us at the same damn time. We're lazy, but they don't want to create opportunities for themselves. Come on. You know, Cypher, blonde, brunette, redhead. Foreign blacks proudly align themselves with white people and look down on us but want to benefit from our struggle. It's kind of scary because I've heard people try to say, oh, the face of black Americans is changing and it screams erasure. How can the face of black Americans be changing? That is wild. Y'all know I don't like saying crazy, but that is insane. For real, for real. Hi, Davey. Apparently, everybody could be DACS, even Rachel Dolezal. Bad Times at the El Royale movie has a black Brit actress playing a black American singer. The movie is set to be in the 1960s California. It blows my mind that they didn't cast a DACS. Somebody said on Instagram, they were like, are we even gonna have a Denzel Washington or a Viola Davis or a Taraji P. Henson or a Gabrielle Union or, Octavia Spencer in 10 years, because they're not even giving the young up and coming DACS actors and actresses a chance. In all of the historical movies that are even about our own black American culture, they're casting foreign blacks. In all the movies and all the TV shows, everything. We are being erased. It's not a joke. It's really happening. Does anybody remember? Oh, hi. I see you guys did super chat. Thank you, Always Ready 24/7. And I saw the other one too. Was that Alex? Does anyone remember Issa making a joke about slavery or the underground on her show Insecure? Now, since then, when I watch the show, it makes me sick. Funny thing is, so many white actors are not classically trained. They put the whole cast of the movie Kids, including Rosario Dawson, was just literal New York kids that they picked off the street, that they pulled from the stoop. And the whole reason why was because they wanted the movie to be authentic, to really feel like it was real little kids that was wilding out. The whole point of method acting is to try to get the authenticity. So I really cannot sit here and say that authenticity doesn't matter, because I don't think that's the case. They're so snobby. It is so disappointing. Spike is disappointing at times, to be honest, and they don't even respect our schools. What is an HBCU to a person who sees us as stray cats? We were just talking about Paperboy from Atlanta. Paperboy got a master's degree in drama from Yale, but for undergrad, he went to Morehouse. Come on now. Literally every black American actor working today went to acting school. Spike has completely sold out, acting as if all white people are classically trained actors. And acting as if all the foreign blacks, and especially the black Brits, are like all classically trained. Like, yes, yes, and they grew up in Europe going to the acting schools and doing Shakespeare on the stage. Okay, we got it. Like, they're European. We got it. They're European. Our histories, cultures, etc. are different, so why would they hire a person who is not an African American playing a historical figure such as Harriet Tubman? Like, why? That's offensive. As DACS, we have to accept any and everybody. We have to be the most inclusive and forgiving people. Harriet Tubman is one of my heroes. I have a personal connection to her as a DACS from Maryland. There's just connection there that people who are not DACS would not understand. I agree with you. I agree with you. Foreign blacks can be greedy. Just like I said when we were talking about the whole Trevor Noah and like Trevor Noah being from South Africa, I was like, getting called like Kaffir is probably going to hit Trevor Noah in a certain type of way that it's not going to hit me. Like, now I'm still going to smack the shit out of you because I know what that shit means. But it's not probably going to like hit me down to my soul the way that it's probably going to hit him. We are different. We're different. And so what do I look like going to South Africa and getting on a show talking about race and politics, talking about... I don't understand why you South Africans just take that shit so serious. Like, maybe you guys should just, like, let it go. Like, it's really not that serious. And, like, I don't understand why you guys are being so mean, like, kicking out the white people and, like, stealing the land from them. Like, it's just really not fair. Like, that would not even be my place. But everybody thinks it's their place to come here and tell us all about ourselves and tell us all about everything. And I'm just not with that shit anymore. I'm not with it anymore. Mexicans came for Jennifer Lopez when she played Selena, and they had a fair point because Puerto Ricans hate being called Mexican. Now, I like Selena. That's a good movie, and J-Lo did her thing in that movie, not gonna front. But that was still a fair point because people, non-Mexican Latinx, they hate being called fucking Mexican. Like, they hate it. They despise it. But then they could fucking have a Puerto Rican come play this famous-ass Mexican bitch. That shit was probably real irritating. Real irritating. Chocolate chunks to twins are still baking. I feel like Spike Lee was on the outside of some circle until really recently. Everyone gets to rep their ethnicity but black Americans. That's the issue with Pan-Africanism. It lacks the nuance that we have different histories and cultures. I don't know why it's so hard to acknowledge that we have different cultures and histories despite being all black. It's a lot of people in here, Clarissa, because we were just talking about it on Instagram, and then I put on Instagram that I was going live on YouTube. Agent Ross put out an alert. James! Fantasia always delivers. Love her. Black American pride makes people uncomfortable. Yes. Yes. Yes, it does. Jamaicans get to be Jamaican. Haitians get to be Haitians, but DACS can't be DACS. They would rather point the finger at black American DACS than the European countries and people destroying black countries don't even want to admit that chattel slavery and colonization happened. CAs think they're the only ones that have ever been bullied or teased, but we black Americans are the sensitive ones. Okay. Fantasia sings with her whole soul. No one can dispute that. Fantasia brought authenticity to the role and it mattered. Hi, Richie. I see you. Spike Lee just... Oh... Somebody got blocked. Why did Tahuti Goddess get blocked? Because I recognize that name. I'm going to unblock Tahuti Goddess just for right now. But if you guys say that something was said, then we can reblock. Spike Lee just be digging himself a bigger hole. That nigga's trying to get to hell. If casting gets awarded, then representation of ethnicity matters. It's definitely disrespectful, implying that non-black Americans can play you guys better. I just watched Rampage online with Naomi Harris, and her American accent was horrible to me. There is a difference. Issa made fun of slavery by mimicking the underground on her show. Spike Lee literally got paid cash money by the NYPD to improve their image. Fuck him. So that's true? That wasn't just a rumor? Because somebody else said that. And I was like, is that really true? Because that last movie, Black Klansman, was real Blue Lives Matter. Like, real Blue Lives Matter. And while he was going on the whole promotion press circuit for the shit, it was a whole lot of like, we need cops and we need police and we need white allies. It was like, it was a lot. And I heard that he was paid by the NYPD, but I didn't know that that was like really true. So that's really true. Pan-Africanism will never work because us DACS Pan-Africanism will never work because only us DACS see black, everybody else does not. The world's, oh my gosh, you okay, Casey? You said you're in NC. Yeah, you guys are right. Field nigga all day and proud. Stay safe, Carolinas. Issa Rae is African. World Star is owned by a Jamaican. Shade Room is African. Hi, Blackamore. We just talking about some stuff that just happened on Instagram. Issa's mom is African American from Louisiana, and her father is Senegalese. That biopic was essentially spitting on Nina Simone's grave and legacy. I felt personally offended by the Nina Simone thing. It was so upsetting. Richie, Cynthia, Erivo still in roles now. Y'all be safe in South Carolina, North Carolina, VA from Miami. Thank you, Jazzy. I see you. I was enraged by the Nina Simone movie. A black Brit of Nigerian descent has been cast to play Harriet Tubman. It's crazy how the elements of rawness and authenticity matter until it comes to roles meant for DACS. Then suddenly foreign prestige is paramount. Especially in 2018, have some integrity. Don't just take any role. I won't be supporting this bullshit. Let Africans make it great. Harriet would have shot these sunken place Africans. Why did I get banned? Because apparently I was bullying Bruno Mars. Bullying this Cynthia chick. Bullying. So about privileges, why can't we have the conversation? I don't understand. How are things going to change? They don't want things to change because they're benefiting. They don't want things to change because they're benefiting. The Nina Simone movie was a huge issue because Zoe didn't even identify as a black woman, period, and she was light-skinned. She played up her ethnic ambiguity until she thought she was going to get an Oscar. Know your privilege. Hi, smart, cool lunatic. Thank you. I see you. Know your privilege. Know that taking a role not meant for you means depriving it from actors who might be better suited. It also robs the audience of a more authentic portrayal and experience. I thought Viola Davis was supposed to play Harriet Tubman. I bet y'all someone's writing an Aretha biopic right now to give those struggling FBs another BA role to play. Oh my God, don't even send that out into the universe. They're going to have Lovey play it. They're going to have Lovey cast it. She's going to cast Adele. She's going to cast Adele to play fucking Aretha. We can't even get Harriet. Child, these people really hate us. The film will surely flop. Viola Davis would have been perfect. Richie says Zoe has always identified as black. They're going to cast Ariana Grande as Aretha in a future biopic. Why are people acting like Viola Davis didn't come out of Juilliard? Nationality and skin color are two different things. Doesn't it feel weird portraying someone that is not a part of your own history? Wouldn't it feel like you're taking opportunities away from black Americans, which the role relates more to? We need to talk about how this is historical erasure of us as African Americans. Do they not feel we could tell our own stories? That was literally the title. That was the title of the Guardian article. For anybody that didn't see it, I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a video again tomorrow. Black American actors. I know it's backwards, but we're live, so Black American actors slighted as Brits nab roles. We can't tell our own stories. The casting of black British actor Daniel Kaluuya in Get Out, this is a year ago. A horror film about racism in America has sparked debate about a trend some find troubling. Like, yet again, like Get Out and 12 Years a Slave and Loving and the Harriet Tubman movie. And freaking, in Moonlight, the mom is Naomi Harris, who's British. Like, we can't even have nothing. Zoe identified as black after the backlash. She always danced around the topic and claimed people don't have a color. Paper is white, not people, and all that BS. Hello, I see you. Talks with Queen J. Taiwanese people love to pull from the white people handbook, and white coworkers will kids do know this. Luckily I see. Your administrators handled it. Yeah. Nigerians are imposters everywhere. This is beyond petty. Foreign blacks are pulling a levy. I identify as a black American. And I'm going to come right out and say this, the same as I said during the Rachel Dolezal thing, that I feel like a lot of people are fucking transphobic as fuck, and a lot of people are using this very specific language. Oh, I identify as. And I said exactly the same thing around the Rachel Dolezal time, so that then they could turn around and be like, well, why can't I identify as a black American? People can identify as this, and trans people can identify as that. Like, I see what y'all are doing. Anyways. And they're thinking of this redefining through respectability politics, which is more wild. Oh, talking about redefining the face of black Americans. Oh, it says I have a bad connection. We getting too real. It says I have a bad connection out of nowhere. You talking about they're doing the redefining of the face of black Americans through respectability politics. Yes, because everybody thinks that they're better than us. So it's like, oh, they better than us. So since they're better than us, they're going to make us better by pretending to be us. Why does black excellence need to be redefined? Sounds more like rewritten. If Nigerians are redefining black excellence, then why isn't Nigeria a world power right now? Not to mention, most Nigerians are very anti-African American. Hopefully you guys can see me because it says I have a bad connection even though I have not moved. Nigerians are the largest Africans in the U.S. but have yet to make any significant contributions to the U.S. They need to go and make Nigeria great. I hated how Lovey sent her big sis Amanda Seales to fight for foreign blacks. Shit, they need to get Janet Hubert to play Harriet Tubman. She's mad and ready, and she's credentialed, theater trained, and look at how they've done her. Clearly, black excellence is working because they're showing up eating off our plates. Most of those articles claim the face of black American is changing, but more so to biracial and British with a white boyfriend. That's why I'm skeptical of people who try to speak outside of their experience, because there be some bougie, highfalutin people being paraded around and they be so out of touch. Yep. Amanda Seales said descendants of American chattel slavery don't own the black American experience. But that's like me saying, like, well, bitch, you don't own the Grenadian experience, even though your mother's from Grenada. And you go to Grenada all the time. Bitch, that's not your experience. You don't own it. They would look at me like I was smoking rocks. That is only considered appropriate to say to black Americans. And we are pushing back now, and they don't like it. The sad part is black Americans, DACS, made it cool to be African, not even Africans themselves. Sorry, guys, can someone enlighten me on what DACS is? Descendants of American chattel slavery. Underground was one of the few shows that had a good chunk of DACS actors, and they took it off the air, didn't they? Native Africans are running away from being African. It's time we began to draw lines in the sand because enough is enough. These MFs can't relate to us but feel like they can perpetuate us. Facts, they wouldn't even be popping without black American Pan-Africanism. These Nigerians think because it's more of them, they should have the hypervisibility that we have. They're jealous, they're envious, and they think they're better than us. They have a superiority complex. So they think that they should have the hypervisibility that we have because they feel like they're better. So it's like, why do those fucking lazy Akatas, those damn slaves, have all this hypervisibility? Even though, what does hypervisibility even translate into for black Americans? Like, it really doesn't even translate into much of nothing except having everybody take our shit from us. And they're jealous. They're jealous. How are you jealous of that? Jealousy and envy is wild. Bye, Acrylic Rose. I went to the African American Museum in D.C. a month or so ago. Almost all the staff I encountered there were foreign blacks. A bunch of foreign blacks were going around mocking the things in the museum like it was a joke, no respect. She's probably coming to get white people to come pat her up because I was following a black British actress when Sam Jack made his comment. They will take white support against BAs. And they got so angry when Samuel L. Jackson made those comments, and the comments weren't even disrespectful at all. He was like, no shade to fucking Daniel Kaluuya, like, whatever, like, he did a great job, like, blase blah, like, he's a great actor, but I just cannot help but wonder, what a Black American would have brought to that role as someone that actually grew up in, dealing with American racism. And Daniel Kaluuya and his little fucking friend, John Boyega, both of them try to come for Samuel L. Jackson and rip him a new one. Number one, that's Samuel L. Jackson. Show some fucking respect. Number one. Start there. Who the fuck do you think you even are? Relax. Because John Boyega, your last 5 movies have been motherfucking flops, my nigga. Chill out. And Daniel Kaluuya, you're famous for playing a Black American. Chill out. Like, we can't even have the conversation without them getting all up in their feelings. What do y'all expect from Nigerians? They are super science scammers. They are whiter than some legit white people. Why are Africans running from Africa? I thought they were better than us DACS. Hi, that guy from Texas. I see you. Hi, Queen. I see you. I see you. Viola, Rutina, Janet, Tashina Arnold. They got plenty of BAs to choose from. It seems like it's always the Nigerians. Do other Africans have a slur for us like Akata? Akata is their word. That's their word. Hi, Queen Yvonne. Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? I wrote an essay on this and my teacher gave me a B- and said I was being too defensive and divisive. Stop! You're lying, Stingray. Denzel did a Shakespeare film back in the day. He did a superb job. I feel like that's such an obvious deflection. How was calling a Black person who is DACS an Akata, aka a wild animal, not an insult? Black progress makes the white supremacists very uncomfortable. Spike Lee is a coon. I have absolutely no interest in his fuckery. Oh, thank you, lover of all things Black. It was Ron Stallworth that was paid $100,000 by the NYPD. The actor the film was based on, I never read that Spike was paid. Thank you. Hi, Brooke. I hope you're still here because I'm behind. I hope I didn't miss you. I'm about 10 minutes behind. I hope you're still watching. Hi, Brookie. How are you? Haven't seen you in forever. I know you've been working. Telling the truth is bullying in 2018. Boy, if you better speak the truth and say shame the devil. I'm so disgusted. I can't believe they banned you on Twitter for that Bruno Mars BS. The blackface and Nina Simone was a satire level of disrespect. Somebody said that on Instagram. Somebody was like, I feel like people are legit like trolling at this point with these casting choices. People who are privileged are aware of that privilege, are happy they have it, and don't want to give it up. Samuel L. Jackson was right, and the bottom line is FB actors owe Black American actors. Just like I said, part of what that girl Cynthia Erivo even wrote was like, you know, I would love to be able to like do British roles, but like it's so hard as a Black woman in Britain. Like, okay, like, but it's like, so Black American, like, I'm not an actor, but like, so Black American actors and actresses have to get shafted because you guys can't get work in Britain. How is that fair? So you guys come to our barrel crabs and climb in and fight with us over the limited amount of resources that we have here and expect us to starve. And then the reasoning is, well, try doing it as a Black British woman in the UK. Why don't you try doing it as a Black British woman in the UK so that you can make it better for the other Black British women in the UK that's going to come up after you, instead of abandoning ship like a rat on a sinking ship? Does it not make sense to anybody else but me? All right. We can't tell our own stories. The concept of telling our own stories to people who have never had to fight to do so is exactly why they don't understand. I agreed with Sam Jackson. I blocked John Boyega after that. CAs don't even know anything about American racism. They don't even care if white people call them the N-word. I loved Loving and it was cool. Hi, Kelly. I loved Loving and it was cool because I saw myself in it, kind of, and I loved Ruth Negga in it, but I agree that it might have meant more to have a DACS woman in the role. I feel like everything written about black people these days is for educating white people, which is total bullshit. I fucking agree completely. I be watching shit like, who the fuck is this shit for? Anyways, race and gender are not the same. On the new show Snowfall, the main character, Franklin, is also Brit. It blew my mind. It's really pathetic. They've played in the White People Handbook manual. Same way Elizabeth Taylor was cast as Cleopatra. It's tired and no different. What else? What else? Bye. Gotta finish packing. Somebody said gotta finish packing. Heading to Manhattan from Ohio. Whoa, the kids are dancing at Brick House Saturday. Bye. Good luck with that. My boyfriend doesn't understand how foreign blacks are stealing opportunities from black Americans and how it's problematic that they are identifying as us. Whenever people say that Africans are the face of black achievement, I am appalled. I tried to do the same thing. Oh, talking about explaining. I tried to do the same thing with my Ghanaian boyfriend. He also didn't get it, but he's very Pan-African. Native blacks need to identify as black descendants of chattel slavery. What else? They literally do think they're better than us. Like, none of the stuff foreigners do is news to me. I get it completely. When was the last time a native black American went to Nigeria to play in a Nollywood film? Okay, random block. Hi. Hi, Rachel. I'm up. This we're all black line is getting very tiring. Like, yes, you might be black like me, but you don't have the same history or ethnicity as me. We're ethnically different and our differences matter. Hypervisibility means we'll just get blamed first and treated the worst. That is a line. I am screenshotting that. Hypervisibility means we'll just get blamed first and treated the worst. It really is sad and angering. You guys are saying these people need to dump their boyfriends. Sis, you gotta let that nigga go. Dump him. They say we don't have a culture because it's not very African, but that's what actually makes our culture so amazing. Pan-Africanism is not even applied in the African continent. We need visas to travel from one country to another. We don't even like each other. These foreign blacks, not all, just the problem ones, are agents for white supremacy. They're flops. Shade Room is full of coons and gaslighters. Did anybody ever see the Naomi Harris roundtable on THR where she talked about how foreign an experience it was to play her character in Moonlight? It rubbed me the wrong way, but I ignored her. Yeah, I saw it. She was like talking real weird about crackheads. Like, I remember that. Like, yeah, and I had to like do all this research on like the crack epidemic, and I just could. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put my let me put my British accent on. Yes, and I had to do, it's just so much research on the crack epidemic because I just couldn't believe the way that the black Americans were living in Miami. I just couldn't believe that they allowed the crack to be flooded into their communities that way. I had never heard anything like that before in my entire life, and it was just so foreign for me to be playing a crackhead. And, by the end of the movie, she does get into rehab, but I just couldn't believe it. And you just be like, bitch, go home. Go home. Go the fuck home. I hope the movie flops. The disrespect and entitlement. Right. Show some respect. Sam Jackson helped build this shit. Right. Like, y'all probably wouldn't even have jobs if it weren't for Samuel L. Jackson, if we're keeping it all the way motherfucking 100. Sam Jackson helped build this shit and paved the way for their black foreign asses to even masquerade as us. Hi, James Byrne, I see you. It's like identity politics, identify, and then erasure. Star Wars doesn't even call for a black American accent, and John Boyega puts one on anyway. John Boyega also likes playing second fiddle to white brunette bitches. He was second fiddle to a white brunette bitch in Attack the Block. He was second fiddle to a white brunette bitch in Star Wars. He was second fiddle to a white brunette bitch. Yes, I've heard people say she's Latinx, but that doesn't mean she's not white. To a white brunette bitch in motherfucking this horrible Pacific Rim sequel that they did that was a motherfucking flop. He likes playing second fiddle to white brunette bitches too, so he could just shut up talking from the sunken place. Spike Lee is a major coon. Oh, I woke you up while you were dozing off? Woo, wake up. You woke me all the way up while I was dozing off on the presentation that I have to complete by tomorrow. Thanks for being on and providing that heat. But look at, oh, you talking about how they banned me from Twitter? Yeah, that's why they banned me. Yup. That's why they banned me. It's hard for us as black Americans, too. It's still hard for us in Hollywood. Right. The native black American actresses and actors need to develop fake accents and do the same abroad. Isn't their motto, work harder? Maybe Cynthia should go home and do that. I'm mad that John Boyega and Daniel Kaluuya came for Sam Jackson and none of our black American celebs defended him. As you've said before, we built things here when they said no. They even come to Hollywood, as most people do around the world, but why play primarily black American roles? Oh, Alex said it was confirmed. Alex said, nope, the NYPD confirmed that they paid $200K to Spike in 2016. It was paid to his ad company. We have some conflicting reports. British and other foreign blacks fully bought into respectability politics, and when they looked up, they realized that they had no place for themselves. Go figure. People are still striving for white acceptance. That's why everything written now is so weak. The guy from Snowfall said in an interview that he thought the crack epidemic was made up. He knew nothing about the history of crack. Right. A black Brit, a nobody, a unknown, that they hired and flew over here and yet again hired all these vocal coaches and shit so he could get the accent right and da-da-da-da-da, and he don't even know nothing about nothing. Now, I get that yet again, acting is acting, right? It's about, you know, acting. But is that shit appropriate? Just is it appropriate? Right now in the UK, Caribbean and African descendants are having words over the African ones basically taking Caribbean culture and running with it. Black people in America are constantly disrespected, exploited, and ignored. People around the world love stealing what they can from us, DACS, but then they turn around and ignore our struggle. Get the fuck out of here. Motherfuckers love trying us on like a pair of Nikes, but don't want to experience the struggle. Although there are a few black Americans that are in Hollywood, although there are a few black Americans that are in Nollywood films, that's because they can't get roles in the U.S. because the immigrants are taking all the roles. Oh, my British accent is good. Thank you. That's what makes DACS stand out. Everyone else runs from their problems. We don't get that option, so we tough our bad situations out and work to improve them and are the last to benefit. Warren. And scene. And cut. Come on, British accent, we stand, an Oxford-educated legend. Yes, I came up doing Shakespeare, didn't you know? They love using our culture as the gold standard, but don't want actual black Americans representing it. Oh, Divine Ways lifted, put, and seen. Seren Poppins. I'm just saying, like, come on. Seren, just audition with that accent, and eventually you'll get cast, too. And I'm going to say, like, yes, I'm Brit. I'm not a DACS. Give me the fucking job. Damn, Seren, you did that Mary Poppins accent a little too well. Sam Jack is straight out of DC. Somebody fucking DM'd me one time on Instagram and was like, oh, I didn't know you were from DC, but now that I know, I feel like that explains a lot because girls from DC just always have to keep it real no matter what. They were like, that explains a lot about your personality. To be fair, I just moved to Miami and I was like, damn, crackheads are really a thing here, and I grew up in the US. Oh, they are a thing. These black immigrants could be leeches too. They come here, they look down on us, they come into the African American, black American communities and suck our limited resources, and then they leave. John Boyega's movies are always flopping. Flopping. Like, he is a flop. Like, why? Stop worrying about Samuel L. Jackson. Nigga, worry about your career with your flopping ass. LeBron in Miami face ass. Stop flopping. Jackie Brown, Shaft, Star Wars, Black Snake Moan, Sam Jack is a legend. I didn't acknowledge Pacific Rim Uprising at all. I don't know her. Samuel L. Jackson didn't play Gangsta Number 3 in his first movie for this disrespect. Hi, Kayla. These people don't want to fight. They just want to benefit from us. I really thought this shit was over. Oh, crack. You're talking about the crack. I really thought that shit was over in the 80s. I'm just over this pattern. At least we got Chadwick to play Black Panther, and they need to continue if this will continue. And people were mad about that. They were mad. Yo, I seen some shit the other day where they were talking about how originally they wanted Chadwick Boseman to have a British accent as T'Challa, and he fought to have his little interpretation of like a South African accent. And then tell me why it was a bunch of like Africans arguing in the comments talking about well, Wakanda is in West Africa, so technically it should be a West African accent, and technically they shouldn't even have cast Chadwick Boseman at all. And I was like, Wakanda's not even real. Wakanda's not even real. Like, y'all have an issue with Chadwick Boseman being cast to play a fictional fucking African prince of a fictional African nation. Like, they originally wanted him to have a British accent. He fought to have, like, his, South African accent, whatever. And y'all are still mad because you didn't even want him playing the role. And you still talk about he got the accent wrong and Wakanda is in West Africa and this and that. I'm like, this shit is fiction. It's fiction. And y'all still feel some type of way. But it's fine for fucking Cynthia Erivo, fucking British Nigerian, to play Harriet Tubman, who was a real person. No? Okay. The census is really fucked up, and the way it groups all blacks in the diaspora together, we get the raw end of the deal. I just Googled it. Thank you, Just Nickel. Y'all know we be fact-checking in this chat. I just Googled it, and there's an article by the New York Post, the Griot, and Atlanta Black Star. Oh, it is late. I'm going to be done when I get to the end of these comments. And Atlanta Black Star. It's a lot of y'all awake. And Atlanta Black Star about Spike taking $200K by the NYPD. So that's true. They like to put black Africans in historical American roles, black Americans for black movies, comedies, and biracials mixed for the whitewash films. Not all the time, but that's what I see. I think I agree. They like to put black Americans, they like to put black Africans in historical American roles, black Americans for the black movies and comedies, and biracials mixed for the whitewash films. Yeah, they put the biracials in like Spider-Man. They'll be the black people in like the white mainstream movies. They'll put the Africans in the serious historical movies in the Oscar bait because they are the seriously trained actors. And then they'll put us in like the comedies and the music videos and like the Superflies and shit like that. Why don't Naomi Harris, Daniel Kaluuya, etc. use their star power to do movies in the UK and support unknown black British actors? I'll at least give them coming here for opportunities, but staying, nah. I never watched Snowfall, but I'm tired of them getting foreign blacks to play us. Yet again, we've been talking a lot about like global black strongholds and stuff like that. Like I just said, like you talk about something, we don't know what it's like to be a black British actress trying to get ahead in the UK. Like, well, show us, tell us. You don't know what it's like to be a black British actress working in the UK because you're not there. You over here. What about the black British actresses in the UK that's coming up behind you that's not going to be able to do anything? People can't even think in terms of the... Number one, people really can't think in terms of the collective, like... People just real individual. I have a video on that too. This like hyper individual mindset that is also an offset of fucking capitalism. God, I hate capitalism so much. People have this hyper individual mindset of just like me, I gotta get mine, I gotta get mine, I gotta get mine, I gotta get mine. They don't think about how, like, well, how is this affecting? So not only the collective of black people, right? Like, y'all so Pan-Africanism, diaspora, yada, yada, yada. Yet your fellow black person, black Americans, descendants of American chattel slavery are telling you that this is hurting us. It's impacting us in a detrimental, negative way. So number one, you obviously don't care that much about the collective because you would listen when we tell you that this is fucking with us, your fellow black people, right? So you obviously don't even care about, like, the collective in that regard. But you also don't even care about the collective with regards to, like, your own individual ethnicity, because you're not even working for your own ethnicity just in terms of, like, black Brits or continental Africans, you know, whatever you want to call it. You're not even fighting for your own ethnicity to have more opportunities and representation after you for themselves. They just, like, they have everything all wrong and backwards. Everything. They're wrong about everything. I don't care. They're wrong about everything. They're wrong. Why don't they build infrastructure? But good night, Queen. Bye. Continental Africans love to use Jamaican slang and co-opt the West Indian Caribbean identity, which itself is a co-op of DACS culture. Hi, young GK4. I haven't seen you in a while. Seren may have been British in a past life. You guys are saying that my accent is real good. Honestly, like how black people still act like colorism isn't real. That's how foreign blacks treat us. They act like this issue doesn't exist, and we are just trying to divide same talking points. I don't understand why they don't go and work in Nollywood. I guess these films are beneath them. John Boyega is box office poison. He's gonna get that Nick Cage reputation. Sam Jack is a box office draw. John Boyega just needs to be an extra. Most foreigners in general come to the U.S. to make films, and they stay here. They usually don't go back. More money in the film industry here. John Boyega is a fish out of water. Flop, flop, flop. Foreign blacks arguing over a fake country. Woo child. It's too much. Yes to the comment about black American actors not backing Sam Jack, just like behind every goofy non-black person is a black person allowing it. Behind every foreign black is a black American cosign. Bye. I'm going to go when I get to the end. I know it's very late. Boyega is flopulous. Strap his career to your feet and get your nails done. I don't know what this means. Sorry. Oh, like, I could, like, ride him because he's a flop. Wakanda would be in East Africa. These Africans are dumb. They don't even know their own continent. I mean, it's fiction. Do you guys remember that other video I had to make that was called PSA Fiction Isn't Real? It's fiction. It's fiction. I hate when Africans say DACS can't claim America. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Hi. It's embarrassing how much of Black Panther's success is turning out to be in spite of white people's involvement, as opposed to because of it all. Embarrassing, but not at all surprising. They slowly are bringing back blaxploitation films. I'm ready for the comeback. Clarissa said, you know, and Serena's insomnia gang because she don't even look tired. Didn't yawn once. Clarissa, you know I'm insomnia gang. Remember when I first got on Snapchat? I used to be on Snapchat all night long, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., watching movies, listening to music. I sleep a little bit better now, but I really don't sleep that much. Insomnia gang, gang, gang. Black Brits need to do what the chewing gum girl did. That Harriet film isn't going to get one dime from me. Spike Lee and a lot of American blacks play into respectability politics and agree with a lot of Africans. Chewing gum was good. Wakanda's not real. You don't know what it's like to be a black... Oh, what I said. The video on individualism... I talk about it in Yes All White People, and I think also the video about white people, that those are the titles. I talk about like hyper-individualism and how people use hyper-individualism to excuse the way that collectives work, because generally speaking, oppression and systemic oppression it's a system, right? When we're talking about like systems and like infrastructure, that type of thing applies to collectives. So it's just like, but people be like, oh, well, I'm an individual, but it's like, but collectively, you're part of a collective that can do things to other people, you know. They don't want to do their own thing because us BAs are not going to consume it. Blacks outside of America think we have it better than them. Why don't they build their own industry in the UK? I just don't get it. After the Yvonne Orji situation, I'm noticing more and more the awkwardness she displays when playing DACS. She looks down on us. She really does. And couldn't even straight answer the question. Like, just like I asked this Cynthia Erivo chick a question, a very simple question about privilege, she could not answer. She blocked me. They asked Yvonne Orji a very simple question about Nigerians looking down on Black Americans. She danced all around it and basically just to say yes, they look down on us. Well, we look down on everyone, and when we're looking up, we don't have the time and the opportunity to be worried about anybody else. Which, number one, yet again, getting back into hyper individualism. So that means, bitch, you might be stepping on somebody's motherfucking head, and you don't know because you're not looking down. You're looking up. You selfish. I filmed the video on that. I just never posted it. Black Americans will surely advance in Hollywood after directors stop producing stereotypical roles. I understand that. Oh, you're talking about people coming over here. I understand that, brackets, the Black British actors. I understand that they come over here, but they could use that money and build infrastructure so other British actors don't have to go overseas to get work. And the only one that I see doing that, the only one literally, is Idris Elba, who came here before this shit was hot, before it was a trend, and is a brilliant actor. He really is a great actor, but he still does British media. He still does British television. He still does British movies. He does Luther. He's producing. He's directing. He's trying to do more for other Black British actors. He's the only one, period. And he's the only one that has my respect. The only one. Like, I fuck with Idris Elba. Like, I really do. He's trying. Now, he's not perfect. Like, the British Black Panther movie was, like, real, the colorism and the Frida Pinto, like, there was a lot going on there. But, like, I even felt like that was, like, interesting. Like, oh, there was a British arm of the Black Panther. I didn't know that. Like, yeah, give me more movies like that. He's the only one. The only one. The only one. Good night, Christina. SMH, I would say Serena's out here ruining my faves, but they ruining themselves. LOL. Black Brits are very strange people. Bye, Kelly. Yeah, the girl from Chewing Gum was side-eyeing the Black British actors always going to the U.S. I like that girl, Michaela. Michaela? Isn't that her name? Bye, Umi. I'm about to go. I'm just trying to get to the end. I love her from Chewing Gum. She knows how to stay in her lane and stays in the UK. Chewing Gum is weird and awkward and funny, but at least it's fresh. They're just now taking roles in the media, but soon this could extend to other areas. Predominantly Black American colleges will be run over with snobby foreign blacks. Oh yeah, they love applying. They love going to a motherfucking HBCU and marking down Black American, even though they are not. And HBCUs were specifically founded as a response to what happened here specifically in the United States in terms of descendants of American chattel slavery not being able to get an education. That's unique to us. All right, though. That weird awkwardness is typically part of UK culture. We just ain't used to it because they keep coming over here and swagger jacking us. Yeah, I have a Snapchat. It's Seren with 4 S's. Seren, 1, 2, 3, 4, S. Seren. Yeah, y'all can follow me on Snap. Hyper individuals have no concept of patterns in society whatsoever. Okay, I'll post the Yvonne video. Lovey and Yvonne Orji made that same "we look down on everyone" argument on their podcast, and I unsubscribed immediately. Idris gets mad respect. Love Idris. Luther was awesome. I love Luther. That's such a good show. Like, I like British television. I want to see some Black faces on British television. I don't need to keep seeing Black faces pretending to be me. I want to watch some British television. Stop making me watch Black Orphan and stuff like that. Like, I want to see some Black people. on British television. Good night. Michaela, that is her name, right? Michaela. Right. Michaela. Ayana, I would like to start doing some stuff like that. I want to do it. These people have their own countries but want to be everywhere but there. Who's really the stray cat? A lot of people have been saying that too. People have been like, how you leave your home country and come to the United States and call black Americans stray cats with no home? You the one that's not home. I like British TV too, to be honest. Notice the foreign blacks play the most into being model minorities and benefit from our accomplishments while turning a blind eye to our issues so as not to upset white people. And then they use respectability politics to say that they're changing the face of black America. Like, we fucking see right through that shit. I would love to see black people on British television. I just don't want them trying to play me. I think the problem here in the UK is American culture is heavily pushed on us via media, etc., but we do need more of our own shit. I'm always telling black Brits to stop begging to be American. FBs are even taking over black Greek life. It all needs to stop. Issa Rae seems to identify more with her African side than her DACS side. She only brings that shit out when it becomes convenient. I agree completely. She basically rubs me as like an African all the way. Alright. I reached the end. It's late as hell. We're going to go. I'm going to do a legit video on this tomorrow, I guess. And I will edit and post the Yvonne Orgy video, even though I filmed that video like last week, so I still have braids in it. So it's going to be a little bit of like, it's going to be like wet braids, but whatever. Y'all said y'all wanted it. So we're going to go. But we had to go live and talk about this because that was wild. So thank you for everybody that did super chat. Hopefully everybody gets some rest. And I guess we'll be back tomorrow with the legit video on this situation. Peace.